All right, guys, we are back with another 14er video. We're here at the Lily Lake trailhead. Somebody left their trekking poles back down the parking area, so I hung them right there. Always a kind gesture. If somebody loses their stuff, just leave it for them. And if they don't get it on the way back, then I'm taking them. Anyways, we're here at the Lily Lake trailhead, and we're actually gonna head over here. We're gonna head down here, and we're gonna go to Mount Lindsey today. 1442 is the summit. I think this trailhead is like 8.25 miles, so got a little bit of hiking to do, and it's 7 a.m. We'll show you the parking area real quick so you know what it looks like. So this is the parking area, so once you get to here, you know you're at the right spot. Down the road down there, lots of good camping, dispersed camping, lots of pullouts. Just make sure you're on the public, not on the private. There is a ranch down there, so be careful for that. But this is the upper parking lot. Probably need a high clearance vehicle. You could probably get up here with like a smaller SUV or car. Anyways, let's get to it. Lily Lake Trail, here we go. Should have brought the fly rod. Signing into the trailhead, always a good idea. Looks like there's only what number and party? 3 other people, it looks like, on the mountain today. Looks like maybe everybody else is just camping at the trailhead or something. Maybe some of those other guys are hiking in too. Not that busy, not that popular of a 14er. All right, at a quarter mile in, come into this beautiful valley. Gorgeous mountains. So as you can tell, it's pretty just nice single track going up this valley. You cannot see Lindsey from here. It's gonna be back behind that thing. But you can tell that's the backside of Blanca there. Got some other 14ers in the area, Ellingwood and Little Bear and such are gonna be back over there behind my trekking pole as well. We're just kind of following the single track trail. Just so you know, there's a bunch of little creek crossings like this one. And so if you don't have good boots, make sure you do. Something that can withstand some water, because your feet will get wet crossing some of these creeks. And if it rained recently or something like that, all these flowers and stuff, they all have lots of moisture on them. So let's make sure you are prepared for a little bit of moisture up here. All right, guys, we are still following a little creek up. It is beautiful. This water is some of the most clear water I've seen. Unreal. All right, guys, unfortunately, I thought we were gonna be able to go to the lake. The lake trail is actually this way, so that goes to Lily Lake. You want to stay to the left of this sign here. Where Hayden's at, go up that trail. That's gonna take us to Mount Lindsey. So unfortunately, don't get to see the lake, but I would love to see what that looks like. So yeah, stick to the left right there. And then keep following the creek. So that'll help you out too. Stay to the creek side. All right, guys, so this is like the major creek crossing here. Kind of show you guys real quick. So as you can tell, the route goes right here and it meets up across. There is some big boulders you could try to get across right there. There's a ton of down trees right here that you should be able to try to get across. I think that's the route we're gonna take, so we can get across the creek here. Pretty good crossing though, so be aware of that. All right, we made it across the log jam. Trekking poles came in super handy right there. Just walking across the log, and then use this guy as a little stabilizer. Helps you get across. Dry and ready to keep ripping some more trail. Just ripping this dope single track. I think it's legit. I like this trail. All right, about 1.5 miles in, you'll come up here to this big boulder field. And we are headed up the trail right here next to the boulder field. Just kind of keep following the trail. gets a little lost. Trail gets a little lost down here in these trees and stuff, but most of the other little paths that go off are blocked with like logs that people have put down, so just beware of that. And it is a little hazy today. Summer of 2021, and we got more smoke and haze in the air again. Last time me and this dude did a 14, we did yell and it was smoky last summer. Yep. Oh, it's smoky again. Man, we've had so much rain this year. The wildflowers are beautiful. Got all these yellow, like daisies, columbines. Got all these really pretty pink and red ones. Big blue bushes back in there. Just gorgeous. A lot of people on the trail reports talk about the cave. Pretty sure that's it. Not sure if that's a cave or actually a mine shaft. It's pretty squared. And there's definitely some quartz veins there, so maybe a mine shaft, maybe a cave. Onward and upward. So we're gonna cross the main creek again, head up, and we are about to break tree line. Headed into the Alpine now. It's pretty cool.
Look at that big boulder.
Just chilling. Big wall. Big granite walls up here on the sand grays. As you come through the tree line, get your first little glimpse of Lindsey right there peeking up over. So we'll head up the trail where Hayden is to the Alpine, then we'll kind of cut across up to like this ridge, and there's a saddle, and then we'll kind of go across that way. Still hiking and enjoying the beautiful columbines and all the other pretty flowers on the trail today. I don't know if it's just because of the location, or maybe the class 3, or maybe because it's just an easy class 3, but there's not that many people up here. When we came in, we passed one group that had like 6 or 7 guys in it. And they all had climbing helmets and stuff, so they must have been coming up to do the class 4 section. All right, we're having some snacks, corn nuts, granola, and fruit snacks. Just enjoying some sweet views. Can see Lindsey a little bit better now. That's kind of the saddle ridge that we got to go to between the Iron Nipple and Mount Lindsey. That's literally the name, Iron Nipple. Sweet views. So you can kind of see the route goes through here, right along this rock side, and right up to like this little saddle right there. And there's a couple people there. And then we'll take this ridge up to the crux wall right there. Super mellow trail today. We're only like the 2 people we've seen other than that group I was talking about. I forgot to mention we are going to use the Northwest Gully route. You're supposed to use it when there's more snow. Looks like there's a little patch of about 20 feet of snow. So it should be a little looser. So we definitely brought our helmets today. Don't really feel like doing the Northwest Ridge. That's more of class 4 with like some class 3 scrambling, decent exposure. So we're gonna stick to the gully route today and probably just go kind of slow in there because we got lots of time. Go slow in there and Try not to slip or fall, but at least we won't be like mad exposed. Tons of marmots hanging out here in the snow and the grass. But we just came up kind of like the mid section, I would say, of the ridge back to the main saddle. So back down here is where we kind of had some snacks and such, and then we came and then we kind of climbed up here. Now we're gonna keep going. That's not the trail. We're gonna keep going. Right here is up the trail, and then it's gonna wind up this back, and that's kind of like the main saddle before we kind of get to the ridge for the approach. So we're getting there. Don't be alarmed, the skies are gray, but that's not clouds. It's just like a ton of smoke from some fires in Oregon and Northern California. That's where all this smoke is coming from. Oh, we made it to the little saddle here. Now, there's kind of two routes. You can see one over this shoulder, one over this shoulder. However, they'd probably both lead to Mount Lindsey. So, got a little bit further. This is kind of the last little bit before it kind of gets sketchy. And it's getting a little windy. But it's a beautiful day up. Obviously, the marmots have been well fed up here. No strangers to humans. They come really close to you. No, we're not gonna feed you. Don't feed them. Don't feed the marmots. It's super bad for them. That guy, he's huge. It's a big dude. So you can take this one. The standard route says to take this one across here, and then it kind of cuts across right up to there. All right, so that's where we're gonna go, and then we'll meet back up with you guys before we get to the crux. There's this big wall right here. All right, here we go. Kind of hard to see, but there is two people going up the route we're going. That's kind of a little reassuring. They're really small though. Right up there. Holy cow. They look tiny from back here. Okay, so after you kind of are at the little saddle, this is pretty much the end of the trail right here. There is a cairn next to Hayden, and there's another cairn like on a rock right up there. And you just kind of know that you're shooting for this little like little V notch right there. That's where you're kind of going towards. You should pick up the trail again, kind of in this loose kind of scree right there. But yeah, we're still onwards and upwards. Gonna get to the saddle, and then we'll maybe take a little break right before we attempt the crux wall. Check out this massive chunk of quartz. It's a big boulder field. Huge chunk of quartz. There's another big one right up there. Freaking sweet. It's kind of some fun scrambling through here. It's like some class 2 scrambling through here. Pretty easy. Kind of reminds me of like Mount Princeton a little bit. All right, we finally made it up to the main saddle. Looking up the crux wall right here. Super epic. Okay, so you're gonna want to kind of go here and up that. Okay, it is going to be a difficult class 2, very considerable class 3. Okay, now you can take the ridge. This is the Northwest Ridge route. That is a class 4. We are not going to do that today. A lot more exposure. Some class 3 moves, mostly class 4. That's where we're going to go. We're going to probably stop up here real quick, get some food and some snacks before we kind of do this last little bit to the summit of Lindsey. Alright guys, here we are. You see two people right there. This is the crux wall. This is where we're heading up. That's kind of the sketchiest part of the trail, so if you are not comfortable with this, this would be the time to turn back for sure. Head back right now if you don't feel comfortable, and probably if you don't got one of those things on your noggin. Definitely is going to help with all this sketchy scree. The gully is really loose. We just talked to some people, super loose in the gully, so I would advise to stick to the right of like the trail in the gully. A lot more solid rock stuff you could actually grab and hold on to, so you don't slip and fall down this freaking thing. Just kidding. You'd probably hit some rocks before you fell all the way down there. That little snow patch right there, there's kind of like a little gap in the rocks. And you're gonna kind of go up to this little U. And once you kind of get to that snow, it's not as loose. It's a little more stable, not as sketchy. But you can tell we're sticking to the right of the gully, because the gully is obviously wicked loose. We're not trying to get in that mess. So if you slip, you're gonna slip down pretty good. Looking back down, that's where we came from, off that saddle down over there. Yeah, and then kind of up to the right a little bit more. We had to wait like 30 minutes because there was groups of 2 coming down, and we did not want to be climbing up when those guys were down climbing. There's just too many rocks. It's like Rockfall City in there, so just got this last little bit. Go up that, and then up to the summit right there. Not too much longer, maybe another 10-15 minutes. Let's get it. All right, so it looks like the trail is where Hayden's at. Not up that gully. I would probably stick to the right of where Hayden's at, just because it seems like it's gonna be more solid rock than that chute. You can kind of see the trail picks back up kind of up here. It'll curve and go up to the top, and then out through another little section, and the trail keeps going. You kind of go by this big boulder here and this big thing. You go around that little corner right there. This is the summit ridge up here to our right, so we're getting really close now. Should be able to see the summit right whenever we crest over this little thing here. All right, when you poke through, you can kind of see the trail goes along here, just along their little ridge to the summit. Looking down towards La Vida Pass down there, Trinchera Ranch across the way. Holy cow. Some pretty good exposure up here on the summit ridge. You can see that's kind of where the class 4 route comes over right here. Pretty sweet. We made it. The summit. Mount Lindsey. Oh yeah. We're socked in. There's so many cool like little lakes all up in these mountains. There's so many high alpine lakes up here. There's one there. There's a second one right there. You can see that one. There's that one. And then there's actually another one right there. And if you look over here, there's another lake, and there's actually another little lake up above it. There's like 7 lakes right here in this little range. So epic. the summit. We're gonna get some snacks going, but give you an idea, it was about 5.5 hours of hiking to get up here for us, and we were also taking our time. We stopped a couple of times, a couple bathroom breaks, snack breaks, and then we waited for about half an hour just to kind of let some hikers come down so they weren't kicking rocks on top of us while we're trying to go up. So good tip for you guys, if you catch anything on this video, learn anything, hey, maybe you wait for some people when they're down climbing, just in case they kick a rock down while you're up climbing. It's a little easier for you to pull off when you're going up than I think it is when you're going down. But anyways, we're gonna enjoy some snacks, some sick views, and then we're gonna head down. This was Hayden's first class 3. First one in the sand grays as well. Choking on an apple. Soaking it in. We are the only ones on the summit right now, so we are really enjoying this thing. Some more corn nuts. It's just kind of socked in. You can tell it's just all clouds behind us. You can see the valley back that way. Clouds are all in the way. It's beautiful up here though. There's one last little summit pano of Mount Lindsey, 14,042 feet, before me and Hayden head back down. Wow, it's beautiful up here. So you can kind of see this is like the fall summit. So there's kind of like a summit ridge, fall summit, and then you kind of come down as you're making your way up. We're going down then obviously this ridge. So kind of like 2 mini fall summits, but nothing like totally heart crushing. Still just hiking down.
It was in the third quarter and we were like the strong. And I went up for a layup, like a finger roll, like right at the rim. And do my
Definitely some class 3 up here. Just pick your own route. It's not much for cairns, so just kind of picking the best little crack spots and just down climbing the best you can. Anyways, we gotta kind of go down and then skip on this side of that little knobby there. Rock! I don't think anybody's down there, but that's not where the trail goes, so we're good. You can kind of see, like, it looks like the trail goes this way, and then that just gets super cliffed out. So try to stay on this side. You can kind of see the red dirt kind of goes up over there. You're kind of still trying to angle towards the trail, the ridge to the saddle. I wouldn't dare go down that thing. That looks like that could get really freaking dicey down there. Kind of see a little cairn. If you hang up on this side, the left going down, right side coming up, there's bigger like ledges that you can kind of grab onto. Otherwise it's going to be, yeah, mountains just rolling away. So that's what it's like down in that little ditch right there. So I'm gonna hang to the left up here, go on the ledges that came up. I liked that route. All right, this is looking back up where we just came from, kind of to that fall summit. This is definitely not a class 2. For sure class 3. You're making class 3 moves constantly. Doing good hand holds, foot holds most of the way up. Looking down, you can see we gotta go down here and across and then down.
yeah, we're not going to the right. Here, that's about it.
Yeah, you don't want to go too far right, because if you get like right below this, there's actually a pretty slick rock. There's like a 3 or 4 foot little ledge that you're gonna have to down climb. So I would say stay to the left and stay to the left going down the gully. It's gonna be a lot more solid like rocks like this where you can actually grab onto it and stuff. Otherwise you're gonna be going down like really slick gravel, kind of slick dirt gravel mix. So Anyways, we just got to get down there about like right at the tip of my fingers where the sketchy stuff ends. And we're back onto that good single track, really easy trail. Hayden's going down that last part of the gully. Super windy, but you can hear and see how slick that is. That's why it's kind of better to stick over here, but just wanted to show you guys how slick that stuff is. Just to give you guys an idea, if you're down with that, you can go down that spot, but alright guys, one last look at the crux wall. See like the little trail where we went up. And this is probably the last spot where you want to be using your trekking poles on the ascent or the descent, because it's just too sketchy in there. You want to be able to use your hands and grab and grip. And now you could probably ditch your helmet and maybe throw back on your trekking poles if you're headed down, and blast the rest of the single track back home. Just got back down off the gully and the summit. Perfect timing, got some dark clouds forming. Nothing super scary, but yeah, don't get fooled. That is not the summit right there. You gotta kind of curve around, take a ridge, and then kind of go up again to the summit. So don't get fooled, that is not it. Anyways, we're heading down the Alpine now. Let's take this route down, drop down again to the trees. We're on our way out. This dude has the life right here. Check that out. He's taking a nap on a rock in the mountains. Lucky dude. Kind of the last look. Kind of see where we came down the trail here. Now we're actually onto some flat trail. It's pretty nice to be back on the flat trail. Easy hiking. Because the knees a really much needed break. They're feeling pretty thrashed after all that downhill. All right, we're still cruising the trees back down. It's a really pretty section through here. It's a little steep, but it's not bad. Lots of trees, shade, and you can hear the waterfall creek over to my left. And pretty much the first mile to mile and a half, you're gonna be walking up that creek bed, following the creek essentially up. So yeah, lots of water and a little bit of steep because you're climbing a freaking creek bed. So we're back at that boulder field, taking a little break. Last little bit of descent left, and then we should be able to get down into that flat stuff down there around the corner. Then easy walking the rest of the way. Whew, thank gosh. My freaking feet are tired today. They're like on fire right now. Finally, some flat trail. After all that incline and decline, it's so nice to get on some of this just way easier, flatter stuff. Back at the Lily Lake turnoff. Still walking through these beautiful wildflowers. We just got back. Signed the book so that we made it back. So don't go looking for us. We're safe. Went back to the parking lot. We made it back to Lily Lake Trailhead. We're in the truck. So that hike is 8.25 miles. It's a class 3 14er, and you gain about 3,500 feet in elevation from trailhead to summit. So man, that was an awesome 14er. Lots of beautiful wildflowers. And that class 3 going up was not sketchy. Maybe, I think Hayden said maybe a solid 5.5 out of 10 on sketchy.
Yeah.
And I think it was like a 5. So if you're into class 3, I would say this is a great one to kind of get into your class 3 stuff. Start trying to figure out how to do some route finding and working on your hand and footholds, because you'll definitely need those going up that gully and getting to the summit. Anyways, guys, thanks for hanging out with us and following along. We'll see you guys on the next hike or the next 14er or whatever we got going on. Later.